Has anybody ever thought it was weird that you graduate, you buy all this cap and gown stuff, and then you just I got another one. Oh, look at that. Yeah. And then you know what? The point was just, hey, subscribe and check out this video about why reflection gives you direction. Okay. If you're watching this right now, I want you to take a deep breath when this bell rings again. As you breathe in, actually allow your belly to expand. When you exhale, take all the air out. Get the toxins out of your body. When we don't breathe properly, we get those toxins stuck in our system and it is screaming for a way to get out. And as it doesn't find that root, that way to, not just only exhale, but there's a word I'm looking for, to excrete. Exactly, that's the word. To excrete, the toxins don't have a way to excrete out. It stays in your body, it stays in your system. And you better believe that it has a negative effect on your body. But I'm going to ring this bell and I want you to take a deep breath. And we're going to talk today about reflections, okay? And how reflections can give you direction. Did you hear that? Reflections grant directions in your life. All the variables. You may be feeling like, if you're watching this, you're one of the people that overthinks. If you overthink, this is for you. If you found that you're an indigo child, this is for you. Life path number 11 or soul urge number 11, this is for you. Anyone that feels that you didn't necessarily fit in the mold that was given to you, you don't follow very well, but you lead with excellence, this is for you. Anyone that seems to be stressed and they can't handle figure out why they're stressed or why they're anxious, this is for you. Okay, so when I next ring this bell, for you to help get into the same frequency, the same vibration as me and what I want to push through your airwaves, this is what I need you to do. I need you to take that inhale, expand the belly, and then exhale. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this wind chime to another ring, okay? If you feel comfortable, close your eyes. We're going to take 2 breaths. And then we're going to get into the fact of why reflection brings direction. It grants direction, okay? Okay, so my eyes are closed. Okay, now they're closed. Now I'm going to breathe in. Hold your breath. And exhale, get all the air out. Make that exhale orgasmic, right? One more deep breath in, expand the belly. Deep, 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 deep. Hold. Squeeze your abs to hold your breath. Okay. Thank you for joining me on that. There's so much power in the breath. I want to always implement that some way, somehow. So why does the reflections in your life, the reflection in the mirror, why does that grant you direction? Okay. Well, let's put this scenario in place. Do you consider yourself a creator? Someone that can create anything, right? Think about it. You've had thoughts, and then those thoughts were once spoken, and then you look back and you're like, oh my God, like, why did I say that? It came true. I didn't really mean that. Well, that's just one example of why I'm telling you that you're a creator and why you know that you are a creator. Okay? So why does reflection grant direction? That's the situation at hand. That's the topic. When you look in the mirror, the next time you look, I want you to ask yourself a question. I want you to say, my name is Pernell, right? Pernell Bobby. So I would say, Pernell Bobby, how can I love you today? Okay, maybe you are in a relationship. Maybe you have a spouse, a girlfriend, or a boyfriend. Okay? After you go through asking yourself, how can you love yourself today? I want you to ask your partner, how can I love you today? And how would you like to be loved? So it's not just about what you're trying to give, but what they want to receive. And it doesn't mean you have to abide or obey, the request or X, Y, and Z. But at bare minimum, you are now mindful. Okay, so I recommend you do that in the mirror for yourself first. But we're not just talking about a literal reflection. Reflection. Okay, we're not just talking about that. We're talking about the people that we create in our lives, right? So, okay, I'm gonna pick one. I created a girlfriend in my life one time, right? And she was a reflection of my thoughts, quantumly created, beyond necessarily physical. The thoughts brought her into this physical reality. And I created her as a reflection of what I was lacking in my life. So at that point in time, what I was lacking was the ability to say no. Before I met this woman, I did not know how to say no. And she said something to me long ago. So this may be the cue if she is subscribed to this. I highly doubt she is. But but she said, I'm going to make you tough. I was like, what? Right? Like, I'm thinking, this is however many years ago. It's like, who said I wasn't tough? And as time goes on, as it progresses, that relationship made me tough. I tell you that. It made me tough. And more importantly, what it taught me was the power of no. How to start saying no. How to respect my space. Right? I used to always say sorry. Before I met her, I used to just say sorry just to say sorry. Is that you? Have you been there? Do you find yourself saying sorry, but then when somebody looks at you like, why are you saying sorry? Or when you look at yourself and you go, why am I saying sorry? What? I'm not actually sorry. And I start telling people that. They go, oh yeah, sorry I'm late. I'm like, you're not sorry you're late. You had things to do that took precedence, that took priority. Don't be sorry for that. If you would like to excuse yourself for that moment and say, listen, I prefer not to be late, but I had some business to handle, or I had a family thing. That doesn't mean you're sorry. That just means you had a priority. So stop apologizing first before it registers what you are apologizing for it, because that's just a cry wolf situation, right? It no longer holds weight. When you say sorry, it's like, oh, Jamie always says sorry. Pernell always says sorry, right? Okay, that's just one example of a reflection. Okay, let me give you one more. Okay, I've always wanted to travel, like from birth. Travel. And if you've been following this channel, you may have seen the adventures in Bali or Germany or freaking California or wherever. And I've always wanted to travel. And so as a part of that, I created reflections in my life. I created coincidences. As a creator, I created this. I always spoke it out loud. I want to travel internationally. And that's exactly what I got. But I started learning how to be very specific on it. But maybe that's a separate video. If you remind me in the comments, I'll make a separate video on how to be more specific on what you choose to manifest, what you choose to create. But I'll stay focused for now. The reflections grant direction, right? I'm going to swing back full circle. Rock with me. And sorry, I had to check. I got about 1 minute and 30 seconds. So I'm going to wrap this right here. Okay. I always wanted to travel. So what happened? What are the reflections in my life? I started meeting people in hostels. And I met people that have traveled to 60 countries, 120 if that's even a number. 60 I know was a real one that one of my real friends traveled. I think he's in Hong Kong right now. And, I start creating this in, it was like, where am I going to get the money and stuff like that? And I created those reflections as well. And I'm now seeing people that are doing it and traveling with no money at all. And I realized like you could have less money than what you have right now and you can do 15 countries. It doesn't take a lot. It doesn't. I was alongside one of my friends, she's from France, and we both had met in Thailand, and we dipped apart for like 9 months or so. I was talking to my mom about this the other day, and when we caught back together, it was in Thailand. Ironically, we both been to like 4 or 5 countries in the meanwhile. But I was like, my life wasn't very in comparison, and I don't, you want to be mindful of comparisons. But what I said I wanted to do, I did the exact opposite. And I was slaving away on the computer when I hate the computer. And what she said she wanted to do, she did. And it's also things that I wanted to do. And she was living in villages, making mud huts, and she was helping out family homes. And it was just incredible. It was just like, wow. You know, like, wow. Wow. And she did it all. She did it with no money, right? It wasn't necessarily paying rent, but she's helping around the house and she's building homes and, and it wasn't until the end of my trip, right before I came back to America. Right now I'm in America. I'm in Connecticut, but I'm getting ready to, I can't stay still for too long. This is what I love. It's what I asked for, right? International travel. And it's those experiences. It's the differences in culture or spirituality or religion or scientific measure. It just goes, right? And so what was the reflection? I wanted to travel, and I said internationally. What do? I met people in the States that had done international travel, and I met people outside the States. And I created these reflections in all these different people who have done all these different amazing things. Right? But let's think of a negative or a bad situation where this may happen, right? You could say something like, "Oh, I just want to forget everything." Okay, you said that. And now you find yourself smoking marijuana every day, on the dime, wake up, bake, fall asleep, bake, whatever. Or you find yourself drinking 3 extra shots of whiskey out of the bottle, not even measuring. You don't even know what you really drank that night. And you wake up and you forgot everything. You just blacked out or brown out or just got amnesia, right? So because you weren't being specific about, I want to forget everything, guess what? That came to you. And now you wake up and every day you're waking up with a lack of understanding of the reckless decisions you made the night before. You don't even know because you just left it very open and broad where I want to forget, right? I just want to forget. And, whatever your circumstance prior, it may have been real enough where you might have just wanted to forget, but be very careful, because you're going to create these reflections, and these reflections, they do grant you direction. Now, we talked about some reflections, but where does the direction come into play? That's the question now, right? Why does it give you direction? Okay, let's use the alcohol, the marijuana, heroin, cocaine, whatever it is, whatever your vice is. And it is a vice. Let's not be fooled. It's a vice. Okay. Now the reflections that you may create is an environment of friends that want to help you support that forgetting, that want to support that drug habit of yours, right? They may not even do as many as you, but that may be part of the reflection, the direction. It's like, dang, why is my best friend, why is she pulling out? Why didn't we take that one more line? Or why didn't we, take one more hit? Why did she pull out? Or why did he go home early? And what is he talking about with, he got to wake up, he got responsibilities, he got to go to work in the morning. Some of that stuff gives you direction because it's the reflection, the people that you created in your life. Yeah, there's some direction that's given along those lines because you start to see when, now let's say Jamie, we're just going to use Jamie. I don't know who Jamie is, but let's say Jamie starts to make a couple changes, takes a curve. And you stay on track with the drug life for the moment. And this is just an example. And then Jamie starts to take a curve. But now you start seeing Jamie, the reflection that you created that was partying all night, 8 balls, whatever. But now Jamie started to take a career shift. Maybe Jamie wanted to actually start getting into holistic medicine. And Jamie started working with essential oils. And Jamie started working with meditation. Jamie started working with, ayahuasca or whatever it may be. And the next thing you know, Jamie just seems like this enlightened guru Buddhist monk, right? And you're like, yo, Jamie, that dude or that girl, really took a left. But that reflection gives you direction because it shows you what your life could be and what it is now. Because you know that you both were on the same track. You were running parallel with whatever the vices were. But then you notice that there was a point where one shifted. So now you have something to compared to. Look back and forth. You see the reflection of what it was when it was parallel, and you see the reflection in the new direction that they took. And now you get to understand the direction that you're taking. And it gives you the ability to understand the impact of your choices a little bit more, because now, when you take a deep breath, you realize that the people that you once created, that you manifested from that quantum space into a physical reality, they're no longer in line with what you're doing, and they start showing you that track. And by all means, you could be the one that decided to take the more holistic approach, and that Jamie could keep going, because this is how more of my life has gone, right? And so now when I sat there and I'm like, okay, I'm doing whatever, I did the party and the whatever it may be. But when I start taking my left, now when I reflect and I do my journaling and whatnot, look, I'm right here with it. Look, bro, let's check it out. I mean, look, I said travel, manifestation. This is just a globe, you know? And this one here is just like, I pay a little bit extra money just to get it so something where it's like, it's nice enough where like anything that comes in here has been manifested. But now when I get that journal and I get that, my mind right, and I get some clarity, I can start to focus and I can start to look back and see what that reflection was that I created. Now, watch the track record, and now, okay, that person's in jail. Okay, that person caught a charge. All right, that person caught an overdose. Or that person is on their way for trouble, maybe even death. And I could look back and I could see these people, or now these people were once rolling with me on that parallel track while we were in alignment with our vices, the things that held us back. Now, when I come around, I'm the villain, right? Oh, you used to be cool. Oh, you used to, come on, hit one more. Or, oh, just one shot. No, man. No, I don't want to. Oh, get out of here, man. You used to be the coolest. What happened? What happened to blah, blah, blah? They used to call me the bass guy. What happened to the bass guy? And I said, he just transformed. That's all. So I hope this really helped you. The reflection will give you direction, okay? And it's not just a literal mirror of the reflection, but I highly recommend you look in the mirror every day and say, how can I love you today? Because that one tactic right there will start to give you that direction, because you're going to get an answer. Today, Pernell, how would I like to love you today? Today, I would like to be loved by, I would like to lotion my feet. And I would like to roll my feet on a lacrosse ball. And that gives me just some direction. I don't know how that gives me direction in the instance, but for the moment, that's just what I thought. But in reality, I know also I was thinking, I know I also want to be loved by booking these tickets that is about to get me to Africa. That's what I also know. And that's another way I want to be loved. And that gives me some direction, because now what? When I got my dates locked off, I now know, okay, I got about this much time to get blah, blah, blah done. And I got about a week in between here before that next trip. It gives me direction. It gives me a little more focus. I'm writing a book right now. It's like, look, it gives me direction on what time do I have to give to the book and what needs to be done while on travel. Not all of it's going to be just like all guts and glory and like, yo, look at me. If you know, I don't even care about that stuff. But, you know, I pray that this gave you some insight. I pray this gave you some, just at least one good thing. If you took one good thing, I'm happy. You're blessed. I'm blessed. We're all blessed. And you're abundant. The reflection grants direction. Find the reflections in your life. The reflections often show up as patterns. When you don't pass the lesson, you're going to notice a pattern. Let that pattern give you that direction and make the better choice. Pernell Bobby checking in. Subscribe, please. I would love for you to do that. Yeah, please. Hi.